Hey, what is up guys? You're watching Epic Pokemon TCG, and what I got for today, guys, is going to be a Zoroark Decidueye deck. Now, I actually faced one of these last week, I think, in a video that I uploaded, and so I wanted to try it out and build it and see what you guys think. And as always, the list will be down in the description below for these IRL videos. Just so that way you guys can just go ahead and just go see the list if you want to. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get right into it here, guys. Starting off with a 4-4 line of Zoroark. Of course, Zoroark does have trade. You get to discard a card from your hand and then draw 2 cards. And then it also has Righteous Beating for 20 for the amount of Pokemon you have in play. So if you have 6, that is going to be 120. And then you throw a Choice Band on there, it's going to be 150. Zoroark is pretty much been awesome ever since it first got released. It can be splashed in anything. It just takes a DC to attack, and it can pretty much two-shot anything in the format, which is really nice. But the thing about Zoroark is that, most of the time it can't one-shot. So this deck is going to be kind of geared towards, as soon as I get all that organized, kind of geared towards basically one-shotting with Zoroark. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to partner it up with Decidueye. Now we're going to be running a 4-0-3 line of the Decidueye. And the reason why I did that is because, of course, I do run 4 rare candy. And basically with this deck, you're using trade nonstop, so you're drawing a lot of cards, you got your supporters and such. And so the 4 rare candy is just there not only to maximize the consistency, but it's to get your Decidueye out much faster. And what Decidueye does is it has Feather Arrow. And basically what it gets to do is you get to choose one of your opponent's Pokemon and then put 2 damage counters on it. It also has Razor Leaf for a grass and a DCE if you ever need to pull this attack off. It does 90. And then Hollow Hunt GX is actually a attack that we can do with this deck because I do run 3 grass energy, and it's actually really beneficial with this deck. You get to put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Now, with pretty much how important DCE is with Zoroark, you can kind of wait late game, and you can use Hollow Hunt to just put 2 DCE or 3 DCE, just shuffle your stuff back into your deck that you really need at that pivotal moment in the game, and just kind of go from there. But basically what this is going to allow you to do is just kind of soften up Pokemon. Feather Arrow is going to start putting damage down, and then Zoroark can kind of come up and clean up the rest, which is extremely nice. It's a really nice touch. I feel like this deck, if you get it set up, it can actually be pretty crazy. The one I faced last week, I was pretty worried about. But it's a really interesting idea, and it's combining 2 Pokemon that I think are really cool, and that that kind of helps out. We're also going to be running a Tapu Koko in here. Tapu Koko not only has the awesome free retreat cost, that means you can bring something up, or like whenever one of your Pokemon gets knocked out, you can bring it up and retreat it. On top of that, Guzma is really big with this because you can basically bring up whatever you want off your opponent's side of the field, and then it's like, oh, I don't have to have a switching card, I don't have to burn an energy or nothing like that. So Tapu Koko, you can just kind of bring it up and free retreat it out of there. But it also has Flying Flip. It does 20 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. This is really big. It's kind of spreading around some damage. If you're able to hit at least 2 attacks, like 2 Flying Flips off, that's going to be 40 to everything, which can actually become really huge late game. Just because all that stuff already has that damage. And then numbers just kind of start hitting well for you, which is really good. But Tapu Koko is a really nice card in this deck. And, the free retreat alone is just absolutely awesome. Plus, it's I don't know. It looks like an Indian thing to me. But anyway, so to finalize these, we're going to have its Tapu Brethren, or Sisterin, whatever the hell the word is. It's going to be Tapu Lele GX. Of course, it does have Wonder Tag. When you play Tapu Lele down from your hand onto your bench, you get to search your deck for a supporter card. You get to put that sucker in your hand. So this is a really nice way to kind of open with Apricorn Maker. Soon it's going to be Professor Elm's Lecture is going to be the big play. But as of right now, as I'm doing this video, it's going to be Apricorn Maker, Lillie, or something like that. On top of that, you can search out your Mallow, which is really nice. But Tapu Lele is pretty much just there to get you a supporter and go from there. But now we're going to move to the supporters of the deck, and there's actually quite a few in here. I feel like this is where you could really kind of adjust the numbers and everything. This is more of a starting list than anything. But we have 4 Cynthia, not really too big of a surprise. Cynthia, of course, is like the big card right now. 3 Guzma, because of course you're able to bring stuff off the bench that you've been picking off with Feather Arrow, which is extremely nice. Then we have 2 Apricorn Maker. Apricorn Maker is a card that I really like. Later on, it's definitely 100% going to get replaced by Professor Elm's Lecture, I think. But right now, it just allows you to search your deck for up to 2 ball cards. So early game, this is just a way for you to grab a couple Nest Ball, get your field set up. And then late game, it just allows you to grab Timer Ball. Maybe you need another Nest Ball or something like that. The cool thing about Apricorn Maker is not only can it set your field up or kind of refresh your field in certain scenarios, but it allows you to thin your deck out. And I think that is absolutely huge. It just allows you to pull 2 cards out of your deck. You're trading nonstop. You're getting stuff out of your deck that you don't need. So it just kind of limits the times you're potentially going to dead draw. It's going to happen, but it's just going to allow you to kind of take cards out of your deck and, you know, make it easier for you to hit the stuff that you really need in games. We have 2 Tate Liza. I really like this card. Anyone who says this card isn't good really needs to think about it, because Cynthia gets you 6 and it's incredible. This gets you 5 and you have a switching effect. I really like it personally. That's just my thing. But we have a couple more here. We got 2 Lillie. Lillie is really good in this format. You can Tapu Lele for it. And you can also just hit that big turn 1. I've seen that happen a lot. Also, Lillie's just a good way for you to kind of like conserve your Cynthias in certain situations, which I found, which is actually really nice. We have Mallow. This allows you to put 2 cards from your deck on top of your deck, and then of course you can trade for them. So essentially this just allows you to get any 2 cards out of your deck right then and there. Very similar to Macargo, just allows you to get 2 and it's your supporter for the turn. Then we have an Acerola, just allows you to pick up something. If you have a Pokemon that's damaged or something like that, you can pick it up. Or you can get really, really cool with it and pick up a Decidueye. And if you have a rare candy in your hand, you can play it back down or something like that. This is just really good prize denial and just a really good way for you to just pick up something off the field. And then we're going to finalize it with Professor Kukui, which is a card that I've been thinking about. I'm still iffy. This is why I kept this one last. It's kind of a card that's like, if you can hit the certain numbers when you really need to, it's really nice. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you can probably commit this spot to something else. Just who knows. But yeah, that is a supporter count. We have 4 Cynthia, 3 Guzma. We have 2 Apricorn Maker, 2 Tate Liza, 2 Lillie, 1 Mallow, 1 Acerola, 1 Kukui. So yeah, that is a supporter count. And then we're going to get to the trainers here. We're going to start off with the massive amount of ball cards that we run in this deck. There we go. So we got 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Nest Ball, 2 Timer Ball. Of course, Nest Ball allows you to pull something from your deck onto your bench. That is a basic, of course. And then Timer Ball just allows you to flip 2 coins, and then you get to search your deck for an evolution card for each heads. Still just absolutely amazed that this card is seeing play now. And then, of course, we have the staple that has been a staple for years. Ultra Ball, just you discard 2 cards from your deck and then search your deck for a Pokemon, which is really nice. Yeah, that's the ball cards. These are going to be all your targets for Apricorn Maker that you can basically just kind of grab and get set up. And we have 4 rare candy. This is, of course, so you can skip the... Is it Rowlet? I cannot believe I forgot this mid-vid. Yeah, it's Rowlet, or Rowlet, whatever you want to say. Anyway, you can skip that and go straight to the Decidueye, which is really nice. And then we, of course, have 2 Choice Bands. Just allows you to do a little extra damage. A little extra damage is nice, especially with this deck. It's kind of the theme, doing a little more damage than usual. We got 2 Switch, because, of course, the big thing about this deck is I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm just going to kind of do stuff and knock it out, and, you know, it's going to be stuck. Because it's like with Special Charge being gone and, you know, Puzzle Time being gone, like, do you really want to commit that DCE to a Decidueye to retreat it? Or do you want to commit that DCE to a Zoroark to attack with? That's the big thing. So yeah, that's why Switch is in there. And then we have Rescue Stretcher, because getting Pokemon back is nice. Getting Pokemon back really helps you out. And then if you don't want your opponent to have that stupid Shrine of Punishment, I've honestly wanted to push this up to 2, because that card is an ass. But yeah, I really want to push this up to 2 Field Blower, just because I hate Shrine of Punishment that much. Jesus, I hate that card. And what sucks is I like using it. So I'm a hypocrite. The Field Blower will just allow you to discard stuff like Choice Bands, allow you to discard just tools, and allow you to discard Stadium. And the cool thing is, of course, you can Hollow Hunt for it. You can get it back into your deck if you really want it back in there. Or just back in your hand, excuse me. I keep thinking Resource Management or Ringeru. But yeah, that is going to finalize the trainers and such, guys. We're going to get to the final stretcher, which is the Energy. We got 3 Grass because Decidueye's in here. And then we have 4 DCE to round out the deck. And I like to do the little strategy thing here at the end of every deck profile. Basically what we're going to do is the ideal field is going to look something similar to something kind of like this. Basically what you're going to do... Oh yeah, I need to throw a DC on here because someone's going to be super technical with me. Alright, so basically what you're going to be doing with this deck is you're going to be going, oh, Feather Arrow, or if like you already have the Knockout, Feather Arrow somewhere else. And that is an additional 60 damage just right here with these 3 cards. And I need to throw another Pokemon on there, don't I? Yeah. Alright. So we got 6 Pokemon in play. Right now we're hitting for 120. Let's say we do not have a choice band. Right now, if we do 3 feather arrows to 1 Pokemon, that is going to be 60 damage. We're coming up, that is 180. And then the awesome thing about this is if we have a choice band, that is going to be 210. And then Professor Kukui actually will help us hit those knockouts that we cannot get, which will be bam. That field's probably like, you know, if you're just going off on that game, that field's probably not going to happen. But like if you're going off, it might. And that's just another reason where Tapu Koko is really going to come in clutch as soon as I find the little thing. Where you at, man? There we go. That's why Tapu Koko is going to be so huge, because if you're able to hit 2 flying flips off, then basically this setup without the Kukui is going to be really big. Even without the choice band, it can be really big. So yeah. That is the strategy of the deck. Basically, you're just kind of using Feather Arrow, attacking stuff, and then you got like other Pokemon here doing stuff. Ideally, you know, this will be a Zoroark or this will be a Zoroark, but yeah, basically, like, you just want to kind of set up these. Of course, you have your Zoroark as your main attacker, and then you could even have this set up, you know, with some Decidueyes doing some crazy madness. But yeah, the big thing is just kind of conserving, knowing what you want to Feather Arrow, making sure you're staying within those numbers, kind of setting up for future knockouts and everything. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the deck profile, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, I'm going to be back with some more deck profiles soon. I am working on some videos for you guys. That's why the uploads are kind of slow. That and the Blackout Beta is taking up most of my time. I've been streaming a whole bunch. So yeah, that's kind of the big deal there. I am a Twitch affiliate finally, though. That is absolutely fucking awesome. But yeah, you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys take care. I love you. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out.